Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by. Whether you intended to or not, you've reached the Burly Flow podcast. Now, obviously I'd like to think you intended to, but I know how things work online. You start off one place, and that leads you somewhere else, and then somewhere else until, well, you've used the internet, you know what I'm talking about. It's kind of like that with stories, isn't it? You start off telling one thing, and that reminds you of another thing, and pretty soon you've got this whole big story to tell. Well, that's pretty much what this podcast is. It's stories. Most of them funny. Amusing's maybe a better word. A few of them bittersweet or sad. All of them by me about my time in Burly Flow, Wisconsin, a small town on the Mississippi River in what's known as the good enough region of the southwest corner of the state. So who am I to tell these stories? Well, I'm the one that's here, and I want to be here so much that I left a job I liked with people I liked just to come back. So here's the story so far. When my uncle died 25 years ago, give or take, and left me a small inheritance, I moved up to Burly Flow from the suburban Chicago town I was mostly raised in to see what it might be like to live in the country. I wrote a book about it no one read called This Ain't Provence and stayed for a couple years before I was needed back home. First for one parent, then the other. As that chapter was concluding, I met and later married a girl with 3 children, moved to Georgia, wrote for a newspaper and then a university, helped raise the kids to the point where they each left the nest, got divorced, and found myself again. I mean, I'll never be just myself again. That's the beautiful thing about kids and family. But in a practical sense, I was on my own. And after finding my equilibrium, my thoughts turned back to Burly Flow. So now, after 20 years, I'm back. Some of the faces have changed, some are no longer here. But this place, that thing I came to love and then miss, that's all around me again. And I want to share it with you guys here, with these stories. Now, before we get too far into this, a couple of things. Don't go trying to find Burly Flow on a map. You won't find it. It's not the kind of place you find on a map, but that doesn't mean it's not real. That's the beauty of stories. They can be released from the facts to better tell the truth, which is also why some of the information about me might not line up with the known biography. But, and you'll have to trust me on this, it never strays too far from the essence. In all the ways that matter, you're getting me and my story, and a glimpse into this special place along the river. I hope you come to appreciate it the way I do. So stick around. Subscribe to the podcast, visit the website at burlyflow.com, and if you're feeling generous or just want more content, check out my Patreon site. The thing about a place like Burly Flow, there's always a story worth telling.